Good afternoon. Today is the 28th of December. I'll just move the camera slightly this way. There we go. Much better lighting than before Christmas was. It's time to actually talk about something that a lot of people have asked me about. And, being somebody who actually has one of the cars that are potentially affected by this, I think I'm in a qualified position to be able to say what's going on, and that is the fact that just before Christmas, SsangYong filed for receivership. Whatever reason, when a company is in this sort of position, a lot of people now seem to get really, really excited, and I don't mean in a positive way. One of the people I know in the automotive community put a post up and seemed to be very happy about this has happened, and I had to say to him, I said, look, I've got one of these cars, and you're saying they're bad. Have you actually ever driven one of these cars? What do you know about them? I know that in the past, particularly SsangYong with models like the Rodius, they really haven't had the best reputation in this country, and this is something of a shame because the current range of cars that they make is absolutely fantastic. I'd love the videos I've made on SsangYong models on this channel to have done better on YouTube, but for some reason they haven't. A few years ago, the same was really true of MG. A lot of people kept on telling me how terrible they were, and we owned a 2014 MG3 for over 3 years, and it's actually a very good car. I mean, nowadays you don't get so many people saying that about MG's current range. There are some, but they're on the minority. Whereas with SsangYong, they seem to be a few years behind in this particular regard. And this can't have been helping their sales, and maybe this is a worldwide thing, I don't really know. But certainly, their sales haven't been great in this country. The fact that the parent company in Korea has filed for receivership won't particularly directly affect the sales in this country. The official SsangYong GB Facebook account has stated this, and yeah, at the moment you can still buy a car, you can still get it serviced, the warranties are still intact. We don't even know what's really going on, and by receivership we don't mean actual complete bankruptcy. We mean something that's a bit more similar to Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which General Motors entered in 2009, and of course General Motors are still with us today. They restructured, and I think the term that SsangYong GB have actually used, if I just bring this up here, is autonomous restructuring support, which means they're going to do some internal work to see if they can find a way through. SsangYong have been in this position somewhat before, and in 2010 they were bought by Mahindra & Mahindra, the Indian manufacturer, and actually SsangYong do make a few Mahindra make a few SsangYong branded vehicles like the XUV 300, which is a shortened version of the Tivoli I'm sitting in now. But really, if this isn't anything to get too worried about, I'm personally not worried really about this at all. It could be the fact that I've owned a number of Rovers, and Rover went back in 2005, and there is no manufacturer back support for them anymore. But that means is with Rover is you can still get a lot of original parts. I actually got my key fob reprogrammed by an old former MG Rover dealer in the West Midlands Summit Garage when I needed a new one. The people who'll do things for the cars for you, if that's what you're worried about. And SsangYong, we don't even this could really affect things very little in some ways. The sales operations are still open, the car is still available for sale, and they come with 7-year 150,000 mile warranties. I don't understand the level of hatred towards these cars. I mean, of course, everyone's entitled to their own sort of opinion, and there's certain brands I don't particularly like, and I have driven a lot of their models, and it's just the way that we all are. We all have their personal preferences, but to me, it's not qualified by very much, other than that the Rodius is a bit ugly, and you don't know much about them. That's really what a lot of the hatred seems to be towards them. And it's fine not to like a car that somebody has. It's absolutely fine. But if you're going to do that, one, qualify it with something, have a bit of personal experience that you have before writing something off. And secondly, be polite about it. And that's perfectly fine. Some cars are good, some cars are bad. That's absolutely fine. And personally, we have an ownership report of our Tivoli coming out later this week, and it's been a fantastic car. It's been really, really good. We've done over 6,000 miles since we bought it. The car's done over 12,000 miles overall, and it's been absolutely brilliant. It's not put a foot wrong. Maybe it's a new car, and perhaps that's the reason for it. But a lot of owners are the same. Granted, there are some shortcomings in some of the dealership network for SsangYong in this country, but then not every dealer is the same anyway. I can name another make of that the dealers are absolutely terrible, and that's first-hand experience for me. And more than one dealer in different dealership groups was bad too. I can name those, but I won't, because I don't want to start a an irrelevant sort of tangent there. And also there are owners of SsangYongs who have had bad experiences. The SsangYong UK owners group does detail a lot of these, and it's a real shame for me to always read this. And anybody in the ownership group will tell you the same. It's always that there's always some cars that are good and some of them are bad, but the majority, from my point of view, what I've seen, the majority of cars are really good. That SsangYong make in this country, and it's a shame to read any negative ownership experience of any car. But the warranty's kind of there. The dealer that I've had the most interest with, Platinum, SsangYong and Froome, have been very good. They let us review 3 of their new cars. They said that we could say pretty much what we wanted about them. Obviously, I thought all 3 of them were very good, so that was fine. But obviously, there are flaws. There are flaws of any car. We pay our own money for the Tivoli that we have. We're not sponsored by SsangYong or anything like that. And the ownership experiences that we've had with this car are completely real. I don't think that they're bad at all. But people who have actually tried them generally say they're okay. Obviously, if you don't want to buy one, don't buy one. But this is a personal preference that we've had, and we've had very good experience. It just seems to be that for whatever reason around the world, a lot of the experiences in other countries are the same. There's just not the level of buyer investment that there should be to keep the company afloat. I think somebody else will buy them. Mahindra bought them 10 years ago. They were owned by various people before that, and there's some very, very good cars. The Corando C300, which I reviewed on the channel, and it's not been the most popular review, but reviewed that September, about September time, early September, that video came out, and that's one of the best cars I've driven on the channel. Admittedly, I wouldn't have an automatic gearbox, a diesel engine, 4-wheel drive in the car that I would choose if I chose a C300 Corando, but the spec and the exterior and interior colour and trim combination was fantastic. The level of features of that car was brilliant. And Mr. Frank said to me, who was my True Decades co-founder, that is one of the best cars we've ever filmed on the channel. Categorically one of them. He'd probably have one of those tomorrow, and that takes a lot for him to say something like that. He states his opinion very frankly. That's probably why it's called Mr. Franks. But here we go. Let's take another look at the article that I found this in. This is an auto car. Let's just have a look at a bit more details of this receivership. Apparently it's due to COVID. Yeah. Mahindra defaulted on the loan repayments that they had, which was £40 million, 60 billion Korean won. Mahindra owns a 74.65% in SsangYong. The loan payment was due to be repaid on 14th of December, and it was missed. SsangYong have said, we are making every effort to transform the situation to build a more robust, competitive company for the future. Yeah, fine, fair enough. Restructure the company, make it better. Kevin Griffin, who's the boss of SsangYong Motors UK, said it wouldn't affect operations. Yeah, that's what we've heard already. Situation's not ideal. Believe that restructuring company will result in the birth of a stronger company. The UK operations are totally unaffected, and we are open for business. Well, there we go. I don't really know what to say. SsangYong are a niche player in our market. That they have something like 0.09% market share, and so maybe this news isn't relevant to a lot of people, but I think SsangYong will come through this. I think a buyer will be found, and it will be fine. Anyway, that's my little rant finished. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel for particularly the ownership report that will be out in a couple of days. Don't forget to like this video and to leave a comment below. I've been using my new microphone setup today, which should result in better audio in future videos. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please visit my Facebook page and also Instagram. Other links of those are in the description below. Thank you.